push the button. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, Doc. This television thing is just rocking my world.
I can tell. You've got one of them Motorola. I think mine's a Panasonic.
Now you're just bragging.
No, I'm just showing my age. I'm 25.
You're 25. I'm 27. Yes, let's not forget that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very forgetful at 25.
Absolutely. I'm going to see if I can make this little thing disappear so then we can see what's behind us. Looks like we're celebrating something today. What do you think?
We are always celebrating something, Queenie.
It's Monday at high noon. How could we not be happy, right?
Well, speaking for yourself, it's Monday, but hey, it's also, there we go, National Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
Now, I have a feeling as a naturopath, you're going to share with us that it might not be a lovely idea to indulge on that more than once a year.
Well, a little bit more than once a year. Yeah, I'll give you some leeway.
Okay, fair. I have a little, I don't even know what they're called anymore, ice cream bars or something behind me to celebrate the awesome day this is. And it's so fun to be able to see National Day of, and a couple days ago it was National Donut Day. And I thought, I don't know if there's such a thing as National Lettuce Day or National Kale Day or National
out there somewhere. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And what kind of donuts do you like, Queenie?
I would probably be more inclined to do the actual 1,000,000% plain, no stuff on them thing. That would be my choice, actually, most of the time. What about you? You probably
know. And I have one more question. Are you a cake donut or are you that puffy, sugary?
No, I'm definitely the cake donut. Yeah. Cake donut, no stuff on it, no icky.
I'm a cake donut person also. I like plain, believe it or not.
You haven't had a donut since
1990. I might have had one donut since 1990, but not past that. I think I had it last year and I just was like,
wow.
Yeah.
So apparently you and your family did not celebrate National Donut Day.
No, we didn't. And there's always a long, my children love Krispy Kreme and those types of donuts. And I am just not, nope.
So,
I was going to say, grew up in Chicago, and the donuts out there were Dunkin' Donuts, and those were all cake donuts. So I'm kind of,
you were programmed at an early age.
Yes.
That's awesome. Now, is 1990 the same year that you had chocolate ice cream last?
Wow, that's a loaded question there, Queenie. When was the last time I had ice cream? It must have been a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I put those days off, but yeah, the ice cream behind me is the kind of ice cream I like. I like, we call it junk ice cream. Throw everything in it, as long as it's chocolate or vanilla, and for me, as long as it's dairy free. I'm guessing this is probably not dairy free.
Yeah, something tells me that might not be it. Yeah.
So Ben and Jerry's came out with their version of dairy free, but as long as you don't look at the sugar, you're fine.
Yeah. So I think from a standpoint of naturopathy, you have taught us no sugar, no dairy, no gluten. So I have a feeling that gorgeous picture behind you is probably not going to be your lunch today.
More than likely not. No.
Okay.
No. I'm going to have bunny food.
Spirit with everybody in the Doc and Queenie community who wants to celebrate National Chocolate Ice Cream Day, though, right?
Yeah, it's got to be chocolate. And I'm going to have to ask you, is chocolate your favorite ice cream or is it a different flavor? And do you eat ice cream? And when was the last time you ate ice cream? I'm trying to get all the questions in there, in one sentence.
When I have had it most recently, I'm even trying to think, a month or two, I really don't know. It's not a staple around here, I can tell you. And my favorite flavor would probably be cafe mocha type of flavor, but definitely not with stuff in it. Ew.
The texture or just the stuff? I mean, chocolate chips and chocolate sprinkles.
I know, and that's a lovely thought, but it's my kids in the olden days, we would go out and go to those places where you get either yogurt or ice cream and put stuff all over it. Oh my gosh, that's not a good fit for me, actually. So, but like a cafe mocha would be an ice cream flavor type I would like. And if that is not available, I would probably head for strawberry.
Remember when they used to come up with, and well, I don't shop for ice cream, so I don't know if it's even a quote unquote flavor anymore. Chocolate ripple, which basically was the fudge in amongst do you
Yeah,
remember that
yeah,
terminology?
remember that. Yeah, I don't actually know if they make it anymore either. Maybe that's a question for our Doc and Queenie family today, if they still make chocolate ripple ice cream. And so I actually have no idea about that. And I actually was thinking, I think we used to have peach ice cream. Uh,
Yes, you don't see that anymore.
that's why I was going to say, Mother used to make shortbread, some kind of cake. No, 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 pound cake. And then peach ice cream would go on top of that, I think. So, but like I say, I don't know if it's just you don't eat ice cream anymore at some point, or I don't know, but it's not something I certainly shop for daily, that's for sure.
Me
Now, I will
neither.
say in the summertime, that seems to be the season, obviously, but
Right.
if it's not a staple in your house, then maybe it's a good thing that it's not.
It's not a staple in mine. Once in a while, I let the kids get their own stuff because they're old enough to do that. So I don't, but I don't. I don't even, I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what it was if it was ice cream.
I know, and that's what I was thinking. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, because you have mentioned before with your heritage as being Italian, tell me about gelato. Does that count as ice cream?
It's a dairy, yeah, it's part of the deal. It's
Okay.
it's kind of like um not the yogurts, what's the other stuff? Around here, Sheridan's, that's
Oh,
not
that's
a yogurt.
frozen
I'm
yogurt.
trying to, it's
Custard. Yeah,
a
custard.
custard type of, that's kind of how the
Yeah.
gelato is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, we didn't do a lot of gelato growing up. We did the spumoni, which I can't stand.
Now, hang on a second. That's got stuff in it.
Yeah, it's got dried fruit, not my fave. No, and fruitcake. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
No.
Oh
No,
my
no.
gosh. It is so funny to think the things that you grew up with, you either continue that as you get older and keep it in your own family, or you go, that ain't never happening in my
Yeah.
house. And so,
Spumoni was not. My mother loved it. It's got pistachios and dried fruit in it, and no, we were more tiramisu and cannolis.
there you
That's what we
go.
grew up
Fat-free,
with.
dairy-free, gluten-free,
Oh, I'm
sugar-free.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, everything. Right. But not real sweet. The
Yeah.
cannolis, at least authentic, were not real sweet.
Um,
So
is that, what is the stuff inside a cannoli? Is that actual cream so it's not sweet?
no, it's a ricotta. I say
Okay.
ricotta, however you pronounce it, cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Then
I
they
know
mix it.
that's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the traditional, they mix it with pistachio nuts, go on the ends, and they put they dye them green. I don't know why, but that's what they do, and they put chocolate chips in the ricotta, and then put it in a little shell. That's the one thing I have not ventured out because it's a lot of work to make.
Well, and I was just gonna, this very second, I was gonna ask you if you had ever made that, because with your culinary skills, I would be surprised that there's something that you haven't done yet, because my goodness, your kitchen does seem to be a hub of activity.
I haven't done those just because of the work. So I've done biscotti, but I have not done cannolis. And we usually buy our cannolis from, there's a Italian place down on the River Market that we buy it from, or Jasper's. He's got he is
Oh,
authentic too.
no, as soon as you say Jasper to me, I have never, he has done olive tree cooking classes, and I have attended several of those. Don't laugh. I do it for networking, certainly not to learn anything. And
Uh-huh.
you get to sample all the amazing things that he chefs right in front of you, and his flair and his style and his eclectic, and he's just magnificent. And then the savoring flavors, not to mention the smells in the place. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Big shout out to Olive Tree and Mindy. Oh my goodness. And then when Jasper does his classes over there, I'm telling you, and again, I really do it for networking, because it's not like I'm doing any of that stuff.
I know you're always in your kitchen, Queenie. You got to get out of the kitchen.
That is correct. Yeah, I don't think anybody's that, well, yeah, they probably have said, please get out of the kitchen, but not because I've been in there too long, just because nobody wants the results. So let's go there. But I was with a friend the other night. She was so funny. And she said, something tells me you're kind of an Uber Eats DoorDash girl. And I thought, well, that's not a good fit for me actually, because that concept is not in my head yet, to get that kind of stuff happening. But it's just a funny thing to me that your reputation, as I always say, does predecease you. And because it's just one of those things, if kitchen's not your thing, I don't think it can be forced.
No. Oh, no. Well, I've tried. We'll try again this summer. We'll come up with something else. We'll do
Absolutely.
an onion garlic dish.
Yeah, well, and that would certainly be an easier fit for what I would like, I suppose. But you are a natural, and it's so cool to see some of the people. Karen Reyes, one of our dynamic rock star ladies in our community, is a magnificent cook, and she's got a flair and a style, and it seems to come natural to her. And I felt a little bit like COVID over the weekend from a standpoint of drive-by. I was out on my patio just enjoying this gorgeous weather, and toot toot, a little honk went by, but I didn't recognize her vehicle because she's changed since we were out in the world. So she sends me a text and she goes, "That was me." I forgot that she had a new vehicle, so that was super fun.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, but that's a little bit COVID-esque, because in the olden days, a year ago, we had to drive around and just wave like this. We couldn't see anybody. And it felt a little bit like that because I haven't seen her in person for a long time. But she's a great cook. I know you're fantastic. And if any of our faithful friends on purpose joining us live or certainly on the replay are in your K room all the time on purpose with good results, or maybe even not so good, I guess, be sure and share what your favorite ice cream is. Maybe even your favorite dessert, and what is your go-to? Like if you're going somewhere, what are you going to take to that event? What is your automatic something that you're going to take? And you know what mine is, Doc, plates and cups. I am always the helper with the supplies. That's my deal.
I used to bring, at least to the neighbors, I used to bring, my mom was an excellent cook and a baker, and she had a family recipe. We call it a New York style cheesecake.
Uh-oh.
It's about 9 inches tall.
Oh my gosh.
And it weighs about a pound a slice.
Yeah.
I would bring that to the neighbors, and to this one day I was in a rush and I stepped out on the driveway and I went this way and the cheesecake went that way. And face down.
That would have killed me.
So we cut off the part that hit the driveway, flipped it back over, and so now we call it driveway cheesecake. So we all still ate it.
Oh my gosh.
I lost half of it.
Oh, that is hysterical. I mean, awful when you think about the weight of all of that and the travesty, but the fact that you now have such a name for it, that's adorable, actually.
Driveway cheesecake. No, I'm not dissing mom, but yeah, that was a memory. And I think that actually was the last thing I brought to something, a neighbor get together. Everybody's moved away. So there's nobody.
Well, isn't that the truth? And another thing I was thinking about, there really doesn't feel yet like entertaining is, well, you know how the setting on the dryer thing, but it doesn't feel like all that's back to normal yet.
No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
People are still staying a little bit separate and a little bit not today kind of thing. And I don't feel that now, hello, I don't know if this will show on the green screen yet. It does. I'm such a fan, and the Royal Stadium opened up full capacity last week, and it's been so fun to watch the games and see actual people instead of cardboard cutouts. And Quarles is watching with us today. I know she's a super huge fan, and it's back to that same drill. What is it going to look like taking food to other places? Are people going to and not just mine, by the way, but are they going to eat the stuff that you bring because they're kind of yikes, leery kind of deal? I don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think people are, I think it's opening up, and it also feels a little different. But of course, Doc and Queenie are going to have to go see a Royals game.
I think that would be super fun. Doc and Queenie would be at Royal Stadium, and I bet all the guys would come over to get our autographs. What do you think?
Oh, I'm sure they would. Whatever you say there, Queenie. Okay.
Oh my gosh, funny. But it really is so fun to be able to see real games again. And by the way, we're over 500. Hello, 29 and 28, but there you go.
Good. We're still hanging on.
Yes, we are. Over 500 is a blessing. And, but that's really one of those things that you think about. What does life look like now? And different, shifted, pivoted, punted. What does life look like now? And on National Ice Cream Day, is that the same kind of celebration that you would have had 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago? I don't know. Everything seems to still be a little
Totally different. And on the subject of baseball, the other night, now we don't get cable, so I wound up watching the Cubs get beat by the San Francisco Giants. I gave up. Well, it was about the 8th inning, and they were down 2 runs, and they were just stinky, like they usually are.
stinky. Uh-oh. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. We're sure all the teams are lovely.
I'm sorry, I'm a White Sox fan. So if you're from Chicago, you understand that. It's kind of like K-State and KU, or it's kind of like KU and it's that kind of thing.
That's fair.
It's yeah. I mean, half my family members are White Sox, half are Cubby fans. So, but no, they were. I was flipping channels, and on PBS they had a thing about baseball being, of course, American tradition, and how really that's the culture of. It's our culture. It's gone through all of the stuff that we're going through now, and like exactly what you said with, now there's no cardboard cutouts in the stands. Now the people are back, and I think people are starting to go out more, and the numbers are going down with whatever's out there, and it's good. It's a good reconnection. I think we've had enough, and it's time to reconnect.
Oh, and look how excited people are. Olathe Chamber, which is one of the chambers local here in Kansas City, for those of you not in the local market. Olathe Chamber of Commerce is one of the largest in our Kansas City metro area. And they actually had their first in-person chamber event last week. And people were freaking out like, whoever had just come to town. And I thought, oh my gosh, the celebration is because we get to meet in person again. And they took pictures, which is lovely. But in the olden days, back in the 2008, 9, 10 time, when we were very active in that chamber, there were 200 people at an event, literally. And if it was outdoors in one of those large locations, we would have upwards of 200 people at these networking events on a Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. I mean, it's just cray how this stuff happens. And it was lovely, well attended last week, but it was just interesting to see people are aware or different or something, and the huggy that happened just automatically is a little more hesitant, and you ask permission kind of thing. The day, I mean, seriously, think about that. You literally say, is it okay if I give you a hug? And it's like, no, don't touch me. Thank you though. And I mean, how are you going to respond to something like that? I don't know. And even in the Royal Stadium though, and I don't know if you noticed this with the Cubs, some of the managers and the staff team,
some are still,
they're still masked up.
Yep. Some are still, everything in my mind, everything is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, whatever goes, however you feel, it's just sad that there are those out there that are going to shame you either side of the fence that they're on and push. And
one thing that I have been hearing is people with allergies have said that their allergies have been less because of the mask. And so I don't know how that piece works actually, but if that really is legit, we're never going to have a, like let's even say 3 years ago or 2 years even, if you walk somewhere with a mask on, you were like, what's up, or how weird, or whatever. Now it's either just like you said, it's not a judgment thing anymore because there's either way goes kind of deal. But people have been mentioning, oh my gosh, now with the mask that we had to wear, I did not have my seasonal allergies. So again, I don't know the medical portion reason for that, but it's so interesting that a mask, a little piece of fabric, has changed such a dynamic in our world.
Yeah, it is amazing. Totally amazing. So I see you've got, I was just about to ask you what's behind you. You go first. What is behind you?
No, this is just my backyard. I absolutely love being outside, and it's so fun for me. And the weather, I live all year for spring and summer. And I mean, I really do. The weather, the hot. And of course, now what are we hearing? Everybody goes, oh my gosh, it's so hot. And I'm going, oh my gosh, it's almost summer. Come on. And Yeah, but the networking that I do, everybody usually says, how's the weather wherever we are across the world? Australia, where one of my hubs now, just from networking, one of the gentlemen there always takes pictures. He is in one of those wool hat deals when he's doing his
Yeah,
videos.
they've got their winter time, right? They're at winter time.
Seriously. And that's so bizarre to see that, because here we are dripping, cutting grass and all that stuff, and he's freezing. I mean, literally. So it's just a funny thing how different climates are throughout the globe. And behind you, Doc, you are such a water girl. It's amazing.
That's right above Branson. That was a picture I took the last time, well, last year, last August, when we took my daughter back to school for her last year. So we won't be doing that anymore. I'm happy and sad.
Well, everything is definitely a season, that's for sure. But that is
Right.
beautiful. I mean, my gosh. And I know you are definitely a water beach person. Of course, I bet you're a mountain person too, aren't you?
I'm kind of everything except for, I don't know, swampy areas are kind of scary, snakes and alligators. But other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, that would not be a good fit for me either. This, of course, leads me to my next question, because I'm always so
Sure.
excited with your progress. What's happening with Miss Kitchen Garden Expert Extraordinaire? Last time we talked, I think you were building a steel container, something.
We are trying to perfect our design right now. I wish I had some pictures, but I worked on it this past week, and I basically, I think I told you the other day, I tore it apart because I didn't like the way it looked. So,
But that, look at that though. That's a flexible thing to be able to do that. So that's good.
yeah, we're trying to keep everything the same look, the same style, and it just was not working well because the steel is a little bit harder to work with because you put a hole in it to put a screw in it once, and if you change your mind, now you have a hole. So we're going to go back to square one and try and redesign it again and see what we come up with.
Super
So
dumb question, of course, but these apparently, when you're doing all of these boxes for clients, have to be built on their site.
no, I usually build it on my site and then travel, and I
Ah,
will either, depending on the size of the box, the bigger boxes, I build it and then I take it apart and put it together on site just because of the size.
ah,
And then the smaller boxes, I can just slide that into the vehicle and off I go. So, but yeah, the steel is a new piece that we're trying because some people have been asking, and so we're like, well, let's try it. So,
wow. That's
that's
what I
kind
was
of where we're
wondering,
at.
because the steel, once you get it built, it sounds like, just in my brain, it sounds like it would be so heavy. How on earth would you transport something like that?
It was super heavy. I
Yeah.
even just in the design, I had to have one of my boys basically come and help move it so I could work on one side and then flip it. I mean,
Oh
because I
my
could,
goodness.
and I generally don't think I'm that weak, but these I was, that and it's steel and I didn't have any trim on it yet, so you got to be super careful so I don't know, cut myself, because they're pretty thick pieces. So
That's
it was an experience.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I was wondering, you've got so many choices now. And I think you put on one of your Instagram reels that 95 million trillion zillion people are seeing, that you are making small ones, like to go on your front porch area. What
I
is
am
that?
making I am making planters, and
Planters.
yes, I'm making planters, and actually I'm going to hang on a second, Queenie. Why don't you tell us something here while I go get a planter, because I can show
Oh,
you.
I actually think that would be fun, that we'd be able to see it in person. And for those of you who haven't checked out kitchengardenexpert.com to get on Doc's newsletter, or Kitchen Garden Expert on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. This is one of those things to be able to visit the YouTube channel and see what Doc's up to, and certainly the reels. Oh my gosh, that is like for real show and tell.
For real, I don't know that, picture wise. Let me get a better background.
That is
Um,
seriously awesome. Well,
yeah,
now
I've been
a better idea of what the size really is. First of
yeah
all,
that
and second of all, it's liftable, which is super cool.
this
Yeah.
one would be like for a single plant. I'm going to change my background here. I apologize. The
No, that's great. Yeah.
settings are taking their sweet
Yeah.
time. Um,
Gotta love the internet on a Monday, right?
yeah, really. oh, I don't know. Here, let's change it to this.
That's nice.
Um,
Cool.
so I don't know if you can see this, but this is all cedar.
Oh my gosh.
And this is a 7-inch. It's about 7 inches high. It's a real light one. You can get one plant in there. It's about 5 to 6 inches wide.
Oh, I think that looks amazing, actually. I'm not even kidding. But it really does give you a better sense of what these actually look like. And to be able to have something like that all over your front porch or patio or wherever your flowers are, I think that's a very awesome idea. And you have a kitchen garden box that you build for your clients, but then some of them ask for the planters for their porch and places like that. Okay.
Yeah, I've got some planters. This is a 7-inch. My next one is wider. It's a 10-inch, and it's if you want to say squattier, I've got that.
Shorter and a little bit wider. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay.
And then I have 2 others that are bigger. They're 9-inch, a 9-inch and an 11-inch. And everything is made out of cedar. And the bigger it is, the heavier it is, but also the better. And I shouldn't say better built, but we try to build them as sturdy as possible. But yeah, this one, and I didn't have time today, but I will post a picture on the internet and show everybody. But these are cedars, and then I've been using oil to waterproof it even more. But yeah, this this was my favorite planter. I wish I could show it better. It doesn't really.
Oh,
but you get the idea. I mean,
what are the flowers called? Those look like daisies.
They're a daisy. It's an African daisy. I've seen different names, but these are white with a purple center. They're really cool. So I just stuck that in that little pot.
That is so cool, and it seriously is, honestly. But there's such a variety in your business, and I don't think I would have known that before. I do gardening about as well as I do the cave room. And so I would not have known the different variables that you have available. But look what's happening to your Instagram when you literally do a reel about lettuce or a reel about garlic scapes or a reel about, and it's 15 seconds. And your following, my friend, has just grown like crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I've got 10.4 thousand people that I've reached in the past month.
Wow.
And my increase in viewership has gone up 300%.
Unbelievable.
So, and I've noticed, I test everything out. That's just the way I think. I've gone every other day. I've let a couple of days, and of course those numbers go down. But if I'm consistent every day between a certain time, the algorithm, they also give you the analytics on the algorithm, and you just pick the time. And if I hit that time frame, and it's within, I think I was telling you this the other day, actually, my last post, which was day before yesterday, in 20 minutes, I had over 500 people look at the reel. In an hour, I had over 1,300.
That really is remarkable. I mean, seriously, think about that. That is remarkable.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good way to get your name out, like we always talk about networking and being visible, with the social networking stuff. It's a good way to, capture attention. And then I
did a great job with that. My gosh, that is so.
I spend more time on Instagram commenting with other people than my own stuff. I mean, really, it's just so. But yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. A lot of times I focus with the flowers and the veggies on there. And I will venture into other things, but right now I'm going through my garden. I'm not out of things to film yet.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know. You aren't ever going to be out of things to film. I can't imagine. I don't know how you measured this, but do you know what your square footage is for all those enormous gardens you have in your yard?
Well, I know the veggies is 500 square feet, but I also have probably another 50 square feet, maybe 100 square feet on top of that. And I've got, and those are the raised beds. And then I've got probably another, I probably have close to 1,000 square feet if you count everything. Mm-hmm.
That is,
and I'm not done.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that you're not, because it's so fun. Every time you say this is under construction and you show us the picture of what you're building, and then you show the culmination of having planted things in it, it really is remarkable how, I mean, it's just, for me, it is literally the plants, the preparation, the planting, the growing, the harvesting, and then the bring it back around thing to recycle everything that you just did. It's phenomenal, the procedure and how you've got it down to an art form. I mean, seriously.
I've got it down. It took me about a month or so, but you know, like I've been gardening for many years, and that part I've got that down. It was just putting everything into, you know, something that makes sense. And then as I help people, you know, they're not just paying for the materials, they're paying for the whole package because you know, it's a passion. You know, like you with your networking, you're good at what you do because it's your passion. For me, this is a passion, and they're not only getting the garden box, and you know, they're getting the knowledge and all of that. So
They're getting you.
they're getting me. And
Yeah, and
speaking,
that is awesome. And I wanted to say, when you said you've been doing it for many years, I noticed, because I stalk you, that on your LinkedIn page, you literally said that you've been gardening since 1989. And some of us weren't even born yet. So
actually, it goes further back, but you know,
that's as far as you put on there.
I didn't want to admit that it goes further back than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably another 10 years onto that.
Yeah. And I believe that, but that's why I was talking about, for you to put that type of expertise on your LinkedIn page so that people are finding you from everywhere, my friend, and subscribing to your newsletter, getting on your YouTube channel, your podcast. It's all about food. All of those things are so allow you to be findable in the social media world, and you've done an amazing job with that.
Thank you, and that means a lot, because you are a very fantastic networker and a very knowledgeable with the whole social platform. So Queenie, how's it going for you? What's new?
I seriously can't imagine, and I mean this with all my heart. I can't imagine not networking. I was with a group of ladies the other night, and they were talking about their retirement time. And I can't wait to retire to this, and I can't this. And one of the girls already had retired. And I didn't participate in the conversation because that's not part of my DNA. And so I said, well, for me, it's not retire, it's refire, number one. But I said, number two, I have finally, 13 years ago, found a business from which I never have to retire. I get to travel all over the globe, meet amazing people, and share with them technology that does not have a rival. I mean, there's no competition for this company. And what would I retire from that for? I mean, look at all those dangling participles, but why would I do that? And so I never have to quit. And that was a cool realization for me, because I have no intention of ever stopping networking. And to be able to have a business to back it up was just kind of like, well, no, that's kind of cool. But they were talking about retirement dates, and these girls are not what anybody would probably consider old at this point. And I just thought, this is not a good fit for me, because sitting around on a rocking chair all day doing nada does not fit in my head. And that's kind of what they're hoping for. I just want to sit by the lake and just watch the birds. And I'm like, OMG. So it's just, networking is in my blood, I guess. And the meeting of people. I've got a summit coming up in July with several of our faithful friends on purpose. I cannot wait for that, to meet so many people in that. It's so fun every time you go somewhere, and then you all of a sudden have this connection. I can't imagine life without networking. I really can't.
Well, we would miss you if you retired. So even though you're not old enough to retire.
Yeah, good answer. I would end up.
Nosy enough.
Yeah. One of the girls in one of the groups I was in the other day, she had a great big banner behind her, and it said, well, I won't say exactly what it said, but it has Waikiki in her name. And I said, oh my gosh, I absolutely love Hawaii. I have offices in Honolulu, actually 2 of them. And I said, that's on my list, not my bucket list, but my list to get accomplished, to go visit the office. And I told them I would be a helper and do demos for them in Hawaii. They haven't called me yet, but hopefully they will. And so I was telling her about, I can't wait to get back over there. And she said, you can stay with me. And I said, what? And she said, honey, this is like my business professional This is where people who come to Hawaii, this is what I do, is I let them stay with me. I've got an entire suite in her condo, and that's what it's for, the people that come to visit, that she has met networking, and that's what she does. She
So when do
basically,
we leave?
I know, seriously. She opens her home, and this is just what she does. It's Waikiki kind of on fire, hallelujah kind of thing. And
Wow.
yeah, and she said, I told her where my office is, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, not far. Hello." And so that's what she does, is she basically puts up business professionals who are coming over for whatever reason, and then she shows them the places that only an actual native to the land would know.
Right. That's
And
cool.
okay, yeah, but how would I have known that also if it wasn't for networking?
Exactly.
Um, I,
Exactly.
I couldn't imagine. And so now she's actually going to go to the office, because I told her that some of the offices are opening up again so that you can have free water. You can have a gallon of Kangen water for free when you go to offices when everything's normal. Ha. Um, but that's usually the draw, is to get people in so you can taste it. And then you get the unit from the contractor that offered you the information. But this was the coolest thing, because look how that worked. She literally has a banner that says Waikiki in the back. I was salivating because I love Hawaii. I've been several times and I definitely want to go back. And so the conversation wouldn't have happened if she hadn't done her marketing so beautifully. And
Right.
she's a ton of fun. I'm anxious actually for you to meet her, because I think that would be a blast.
Yeah, that we'll have to
I have bad news for you, Doc.
what?
Even you, with your expert driving skills, we still have to fly to Hawaii.
That's okay. I'll take a break. I'll
Yeah.
let you drive the rental car. It's
Thank
probably safer
God.
that way. Probably
Thank
safer that way.
Yeah. The good news is, in Hawaii, the term over there is hang loose. And so that's literally what they say all the time, is just hang loose, which is their version of chill out.
I'm
And
not sure we want to show them this picture though.
I don't think they'd let us in the state. I'm thinking, not let us in. Yeah, yeah. But it really is. But once again, networking. How would I have met her if I had not been on that call? And it's so fun to be associated with people and to watch your network grow. I mean,
Right.
what can you say, you've got 10,000 million trillion zillion people all over you now for the Instagram reels. That wouldn't have happened without your business, without your networking skills, without your social media expertise. It wouldn't have happened. I mean, it's phenomenal to me how this has transpired.
Well, and just how we met, it was networking. So
Yeah, yeah,
the
absolutely.
rest is history.
I was going to just say July 25th, 2019. And we were in the No Excuses Network at that time. And one of our mutual friends brought you in. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh. And so, I mean, seriously, Doc and Queenie was born because of the COVID, keep the community together kind of thing. And it's all about networking. And I really seriously hope, for those of you out there watching with us now, or certainly on the replay, grow your network. Just take that step and reach out just a scooch and see what happens. Push that button and post something that might be somebody out there needs it. Let's just go there.
Right.
Everybody needs
Right.
a kitchen garden box, and now they've got Doc. How awesome is this?
Everybody needs a networking queen and water. So
Well,
I
it's
pointed the wrong way.
yeah,
Did it again.
it certainly
It's
is.
one day, Queenie.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. And of course we have to go, which always kills me.
Yeah.
National Chocolate Ice Cream Day. Maybe they'll adopt it to be National Ice Cream Month sometime, but it just is so fun to be able to celebrate these days with each of you.
Well, and like you said, it would be great to see who likes chocolate ice cream and what do you like in your chocolate ice cream? Do you like it plain, or do you like junk in the, like junky ice cream like I do?
Chunky ice
Um,
cream, that's great.
um,
Oh,
or, or
I think it would be okay even if they put down their brand, right?
yeah,
I think
I
that's
don't,
okay when we're posting like this, to put down your favorite brand, because I think there's a gazillion of those too. And we would love to know your favorite flavor of ice cream and how you will be celebrating
the
National
National
Chocolate Ice
Chocolate
Cream.
Ice Cream Day. Wow, we said that in unison. And
I
that was
know.
unrehearsed. That's pretty good
That is pretty amazing, especially for us, right?
on a Monday. So I guess it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, I know. This time always goes so fast. Take us home, Doc.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate you, our faithful friends on purpose. And don't forget to check out Queenie or Doc's websites, etc., social networking, KathyWeaverKC.com, KitchenGardenExpert.com, or just, send us a hello. We'd love to hear about your ice cream or whatever. We'll talk to you soon. We've got a Bible trivia on Thursday night at 7, or join us back here on next Monday at. Thanks, Queenie.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great
Bye,
day.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.